There are many versus shows on YouTube of many different qualities and audience sizes. Some have a high level of quality but lack the audience size they deserve. Some are fairly big but are very rapidly
slipping into shit.
And some shows lack either of those qualities. But only one has both. Death Battle is the show that popularized the versus genre on YouTube over the last decade. And the fact that the show has been going on for so long but is still gradually getting better in my eyes amazes me. Without a doubt, it's my favorite versus show on the market right now. Is what I would have said before the 27th of September 2019 when 8 Crazy Fights made its debut with Scorpion vs Donkey Kong. The series was created by Max of the Galaxy Video channel and its name is based off the movie 8 Crazy Nights by Adam Sandler, which we both reviewed along with 6 other friends back in December. But don't let the general lack of enthusiasm our entire group had over the movie fool you. 8 Crazy Fights is a true masterpiece in every sense of the word, and I'll explain myself as I go over each individual episode. This won't be a traditional least favorite to favorite ranking as I'll instead just be going over every episode in chronological order. Now let's start with the very first.
Oh, shut your fucking gap, Whitey!
Scorpion vs Donkey Kong is the best premiere I've ever seen to any versus show. Move aside Goku Black vs Dark Sonic. Fuck off Inspector Gadget vs Robocop. This is the only episode that can say I'm the king and not be a fucking liar. This episode has everything a good premiere needs. It quickly introduces us to both of the hosts, Adam Sandler, played by Max, and Whitey from 8 Crazy Nights, also played by Max, and he does a great job voicing both of them. I would have never been able to tell that they were both played by the same person. Adam was the only one who was discernibly Max. His Whitey voice was so good that it caught me off guard when I actually went to watch 8 Crazy Nights for the first time and heard his actual voice. The writing is really great, the match is very well researched and the animation was also really short, sweet and straight to the point. This is a premiere that will have any other aspiring versus creators shaking in their boots as they will never even come close to topping it.
Hello?
The Doctor vs Mr. Peabody and Shaman isn't quite as strong as the episode that preceded it, but by no means is it not damn near perfect. This episode introduces an entirely different dynamic between Adam Sandler and his new co-host, Christopher Walken, played by Ducko. These two play off each other so well that it's easy to imagine they actually recorded their lines together instead of separately like they usually do. The animation is great as always and the result is very well explained. Though if I do have to nitpick just a little, and this really is nitpicking, I hate the Crypto the Super Dog theory. It just adds so much unnecessary time onto the episode and stops it from getting the speedrun world record. And the fact that they keep saying the word time but never once referenced Ben 10 vs Green Lantern is beyond disappointing. Still a 10 out of 10 episode though.
Jill.
Jack vs Jill introduces yet another new dynamic between hosts in the form of Adam Sandler and Jill, both of whom are played by Max. This episode has some truly gripping drama as the tension between the hosts escalates, causing Adam to snap at Jill and not allow her to speak at all. The animation is, again, very great. Jack almost looks like a real person in the animation. I'm amazed that Max has improved his animations to the point of looking photorealistic. If there were any complaints I had to make, it would be that the series should have had their first horror character be an actual horror character like Jeff the Killer or Slenderman. The latter of which I would not mind if he cornered me in his forest.
You're being fucking embarrassing.
I, as a mere mortal, cannot even begin to understand the genius of Shampoo versus Conditioner. This is the funniest episode of the entire show. It has the best research and the dynamic choreography and cinematography in the fight scene brought me to fucking tears. This is it, chief. This is the bestest one.
Meatballs?
Max vs Freddy has one of the best, most brutal deaths of the entire show. Death Battle should just pack up and go home now because even their best death cannot come close to this. The writing is fantastic, as per usual, but Adam didn't really have any co-host to play off so it lacked the fun dynamic that the other episodes have. And if you ask me, I think Max included a little too much Shark Boy and Lava Girl footage. He should have mixed it up a bit. Also, I really appreciate the light combo breaker merch cameo. Mr. Sandler is a man of culture.
I'm quite the epiphany.
So one of my least favorite death battles is Luigi vs Tails, as is the case with a lot of people, but 8 Crazy Fights gave this matchup the respect it deserves. The fight scene was thrilling from beginning to end. The jokes in the analysis land and the entire episode really explores Whitey's psychological state and provides such a deep commentary on abusive relationships. This version of the fight isn't quite as well researched as Death Battle's episode, but it trumps it in every other way.
No.
Alvin and the Chipmunks vs the Smurfs is without a doubt the best Alvin and the Chipmunks episode of any versus show. I dare say any YouTube show in general. It further establishes Adam's trauma thanks to his abusive relationship with Whitey, showing that this is not an episodic show. It's an overarching story with real lasting consequences. The writing and animation are as fantastic as ever. Not much more to say there, but this was the last episode before the much anticipated series finale and it does a good job leading up to it.
It depends on if you want to scale Donkey Kong to the Mario Cash.
Never have I seen such a beautiful ending to any show before. This episode is the culmination of the entire 8 Crazy Fights series and I absolutely adore it. Every single past episode is represented in some way, whether it's the winner of the episode being featured. The animation really gives everyone a chance to shine and show off a vast array of different matchups. The pre-analysis is written flawlessly and Max absolutely kills it as Adam in this episode. You can hear the unease in his voice when he brings up Luigi, showing that the impact of that episode is still very much present. It's just an absolutely mesmerizing performance and the fact that it wasn't nominated for an Oscar is disgusting. Honestly, the only thing I have any kind of problem with here is Max from Shark Boy and Lava Girl winning. I feel the argument was just a huge no limits fallacy and either of the Mario character should stomp him statistically. But other than that, this is a perfect ending to a perfect show. It's just a shame that Max never ended up getting around to doing Mario vs Sonic, because no other versus show will be able to make it as good as he could if they tried. But I'd rather the show end perfectly on its own terms, which it thankfully did. Or at least, that's what I would have said if Mario vs Sonic didn't come out while I was writing this script. So let's go over it and see how it stacks up to the other episodes. Firstly, Chipmunks vs Smurfs is retconned out of existence, which is unfortunate, but it's probably the best choice since it's the only one with no co-host and the other episodes need to be kept in so that we have previous context for the other hosts. Speaking of the other hosts, they're all back and bring some excellent back and forth exchanges with their dialogue. Max does a great job voicing them all and the banter between them is all comedy gold. It's especially great this episode since there are more hosts to play off. Now I could go over the rest of the episode, but what I really want to go over is the last 5 or so minutes, which is some of the most deep, thought-provoking storytelling I have ever seen. Adam snaps at the other 3, causing them to leave him, but Adam then reflects upon his actions all throughout the series and realized how cruel he's been towards everyone. It's a strikingly powerful moment that had me in a fit of sobbing and I didn't expect anything else to top it. But then immediately after, we hear a cover of Bum Biddy from 8 Crazy Nights and it's honestly just so perfect. I have never seen another musical number as emotionally powerful and pitch perfect as this. The actual Bum Biddy and Long Ago from the original 8 Crazy Nights. Pathetic. Won't back down from Barnyard. Amateur. Holding out for a hero from Shrek 2. Stay in your own league. Shiny. Get that shit out of here. It's insulting that you'd even compare it to something this good. All of this culminates in the emotional conclusion where Adam realizes that versus debates don't matter in the grand scheme of things and that it's not worth burning bridges over. It's a fantastic emotional conclusion with a great message that can never be topped. Let's hope nobody is stupid enough to try. This episode is absolutely mesmerizing and is pretty much perfect in every way. It's a fantastic conclusion to the series, even more so than the winner's battle royale. The rich themes of acceptance, forgiveness, family, self-reflection and personal growth are just so flawlessly implemented. And if there's one thing to take away from this, it's that Shampoo vs Conditioner is still the GOAT. And that's 8 Crazy Fights. Truly a work of art which no other versus show will ever compare to, not even CVC or Fiction Force. Just in case you want to see what number ratings I'd give each episode, as well as the final ranking order, here you go. I've said before that One Punch Man is my favorite series of all time. but honestly it doesn't even come close to the raw intensity and emotion that 8 Crazy Fights provides. This is more than just a criminally underrated versus show. It's an otherworldly, life-changing experience and I will never forget it for as long as I live. The rich themes and mature storytelling are something I think everyone deserves to experience at least once. So if you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor and watch it. I can promise you that you won't regret it. Happy birthday, Max.